Just bought a new camera. Do you think I need a new camera? I only made 300 videos on the last one. Well, that takes up how many megabytes? Mega? More than bytes? Of course it was megabytes because my cats, they bit on my speaker and they ruined my last speaker. My camera couldn't work. But the speaker, the camera, the hammer, I am the speaker of the hammer of the camera. I am the power inside the camera. Dawn, 32 degrees of insanity. Let me tell you a little story now. You like my elephants? This camera doesn't go in and out like the last one. So now, did you notice this over here? Well, it chops up the B on the top and the B on the bottom. All you're left is with XX, which is 20 worlds. But X and X is 10, plus the 10 here goes 20. Goes over here, makes the 30 creation of B and B upside down to each other. There's so many things. This B, you see this B over here? If I would just go ahead and draw a line over here in the B, you'd actually have an A and an A. That's why 1A and 1B are the actual same thing. But at the same time, you have the D inside each, making the double D breast for the BD breast. Okay, you have the E down here, which would make the BED bed. Okay, and down here you got two C's, 33 Christ. You have A, B, C, D all in this one letter. At the same time, you have the M. At the same time, you cut it in half, you have the N. You have the actual, no O in here because the O isn't created yet. So you have the C, you have the D, you have the E. Obviously, you have the F because you take off one tail. You only work two worlds at a time. This world connects to this world, and this world connects to this world. It's AB or AC. But when you get down here, it's AC/DC because you have the whole world connected. G is not in here, but if you really look at it, there is a G in here, but I'll go on that. H and I are actually right here. H and I. The J is actually right here by going up and around. Half of it is a J. Now, if you mark this line here, okay, and you want to use up A and B, you just make a V in the center. You got a life of A and B creating man. It also creates the peace sign. Okay, A, B, C, D, M, N, O, P. You also have the P in here by this going up and around, and this here is the P. P, D, okay. R is not in here because it needs to cross angle with this. But the minute I cross it down here, we now create the R. The whole alphabet, this whole entire world of ours has been created off of 1, 2, 3, ABC. Where is Michael Jackson now? He's working on DEF. What do you think? He did ABC. He had to leave to do DEF. Right? You ever think of the dead lately? E-world, Alpha, D-corner, twice. One for man, one for you. One of the E-world of the angel connection. Dead. Death is the time heaven of E, A, and D. D. What do you want to do? Well, let me tell you one thing. Dawn, 32 degrees of insanity. There ain't no insanity in 32 degrees, or maybe there is, because 32 degrees is the freezing point. And it's insane if you can't unfreeze and you can't freeze, but you're definitely in between the two sides. Something's going on. Now, don't forget, 32, okay, in roulette happens to be creation of the beta system, which is the man inside creation. 32, that's why it's there. 23 is the opposite. It means beta's creation instead of the creation of beta. That's it. But there's more. Dawn, I met a guy. Where did I meet that guy? I met him at Best Buy. He was looking at a cassette. I was looking at nothing. I was looking for a conversation. All of a sudden, we started to talk. He flips open his phone, and he shows me a red sun. He showed me pictures of how he got the red sun through his telescope. He says, my friend, he says, you should see this. He says, if you know anything about numbers, and I mentioned the number to him, and the minute I mentioned that number, he pulls out his card from his work of who he is, one of those cards, and he shows me the same number. He had on his telephone a red sun and a spot. He had your Cyrus. He had Nibiru. On side, a regular guy at a store, and I saw it right there. The red sun with the orange sun. It was insane. Don, this is all true. God did not create this world for something not to be true. He made it for all to be true. It's what's not true, okay, that is the envelope in between or around of what is true. We'll leave the cassette at now. It's 5 minutes. I haven't done a cassette in a couple of days. I've done George Washington's birthday, GWB. GWB. The W is creation of the G of the gates, of the B of the beta world. G7, W23, 5. B2, 752. Seventh gate of 52, which is angel and man. The sixth word has a 52 letter count. The four word has a 60 letter count. 60 of the four letter word. And the six letter word of 52 is 82. That's beta. That's the beta heaven. There ain't no nothing that doesn't exist in this world, because once we express it between us, it exists. Now, the reality of the existence of whatever it may be, that's a different point in the matter. It's an existence on another board, in another world, on a tablet in the shelf, in a folder, in a file filed away, but not filed away forever, but filed so that one day our filing cabinet, our mind, can go and retrieve it and show you the truth. Don, don't stop. Don't ever let anybody stop, because all this photograph and whatever it is, I don't give a crap. I believed this before and I believe it now, and I met that guy in the store for no reason at all. But the reason of all that I did meet the guy in the store is for the reason, Don, there is another planet. The governments, God, G-O-D, God, government of destruction, game of destruction. What more do I have to say? Zion and Israel have the same letter count. Now, how do you have the same pair of Jews? Does that mean Zion is equal to the entire Israeli nation? Impossible. But in the word alone, Zai, and it means the Z, the game of Zai. Why? Splitting of the 4 and 6 angel, of angel neutralization, which is the passage A-N-D, destruction or division. So everything exists. SOPA, you want to see SOPA? This is SOPA. It's the elephant ear here and the elephant ear here. The long nose of not minding his own business, but to know a little bit better, where this finger fits right here on my eye. When I do this, this is the way it fits. If it slips to one side, I got 3 fingers and 2 fingers. But if it slips to the other side, I got 3 fingers and 2 fingers. Unless I'm putting one finger on my nose, I got the 4 angel of the one spirit. I'm still connected between the nose. We are connected between the nose, the toes. Things grow, things dilapidate. They tear apart and they wreck. Okay? Wreck. R-E-C-K. Angel resonant, E-world of creation of 1K equals 2 beta God of connection to the entire universe when they wish. When we wish to entire ourselves to the universe, you must be good. You cannot get in. It's a virus. Things don't connect in this universe with a virus. You're in or you're out. You are not in between on holding unless you're the virus. Virus, iris in the eye, the black in the eye of everything, the black hole in the eye that sees completely everything of everything. What you don't notice, it's still there, the hole in your eye. The black hole of any hole that imagine that you can't see. Look at the woman. You take a lick, but she's still got that black hole. It ain't a black hole, but you spread it open, you can't see anything. It must be represented by the black hole. Well, once you get it in, you shoot off the white dust. It permeates or sperminates, and within 9 months, you've got something from that black hole coming out called a child. We are the child. We are the spirit nation. We are the peace nation. This is the 50 years. This is the 1960s all over again. But this time in the 60s, the vision of the 60s have come back to completely take away our rights, but that's okay. God's there. I don't care what anybody says. There is a creator. I don't care if his name is Buddha. I don't care what stipulations you go under that we cannot use because of the name of God is not allowed to be used. Well, let me tell you one thing. When you're spreading the good word of the Lord, it doesn't matter what word you use. Cocksucker, motherfucker, I don't care. Insane, shithead, bullshit. I don't really care. Because that guy, that woman, that guy exists. Creator exists in creation. Beta world brings everything together in equality so we can move and live in this world together. It's working out, but it ain't working out. Another thing, I get back to Zionist. Israel is the 64 count. Zion, okay, is the other count. Now you split 64 as Zion in half, you got 23. Well, that's creation, so we already know Zion was built up by the creation of 23. So it's completely impossible that the Zion and the Israeli are together and exact. They will have to fight against each other to find out who is the real Israeli. The Middle East, M-E, me. Or backwards, EM means M. In French, it means to love. Okay, so I've actually went through this whole thing, and I am so sure of everything I do. Even if I make a mistake, then I noticed it. And if I noticed it and I made a mistake, that means I'm going to make a correction. That means I found something. Another reality inside the difference. Because the mistake is not a difference. It's just not the actual portal that meets the center of everything. So then again, it makes the difference and looks like it's wrong, when in all actuality, it ain't wrong at all. The only thing that's wrong in this world, okay, in which I'm getting into next, are all the president's men. I'm going to go over their numbers because, like I said, George Washington Bridge, okay, 752. 7 times 52 is 364 days. If you take the deck of cards, okay, each suit 1 to king equals 91 by 4 times 4 because of the 4 suits, 364. 21 plus that, the reason for the Israeli long year of 384 days, 21 is the one dice, 1 to 6, which actually tells you all about man. We don't need 7, 8, and 9 because 7 is the gate. 8 is the heaven connecting the 2 4 corners of the 2 dice, the north and the south. The 4 corners that go around 1 on a dice cube, the 4 corners that go around 6 on a dice cube. We have 752, 364. So we have the deck of cards with, if you add up the 4 suits at 91 in a regular count from 1 to 13, you have in 4 suits 364, the same number. 1, 6, and 4 equals the Sam, spirit angel man, Uncle Sam, the guy who needs you, who wants you. But there is a spirit angel, Sam, and that's why it's so easy to put out there, because it's God, the angel, the spirit of who you are. And the M is the man of what we complete to the cycle, because with us and the angels, and the neutralization pass spells the word man. We're going to let it go and let it be the way it is. I'm very happy for what I did. Okay, Don, 32 degrees of insanity. My friend has seen many things up there. He has a telescope of 7 point whatever. He's got friends in Austria. Okay, and he told me, he says there's mysterious things going on in the sky that no one's talking about. But he has some people in Austria that work in a science lab. And for some reason, this word out of there is not being spread due to the Americans. Amer means sour. Can means a sour man can do it. American. Americano. And like I said, I think Christopher Columbus is still involved. I'm not sure which side he's taking, but I know he didn't want to lose his land when he came across. And what did he do? Did he steal it? Did he steal it? The Indians? And then you got Columbus came in here, the Indians and Columbus, and then the Americans took over, because the Americans, they bring all these people from all over the place. They teach them what they need to think, they want to know, and they do it their way. And Indians, what's an Indian? I-N-D-I-A-N. I-9-D-4, 94, 9 by 4 is 36, creation of man. I-N-D, I-N-D is the passage of the D passage. I-9, N5, D4, 954. Oh, Christ. My first address I lived on. And you know my first address is 954 MSN. That's my first address, 954 Emerson. I am the Archangel Raphael, and I've been put here on this planet before I even knew it. I was scared to death. Now I don't give a fuck about death, except for the people who are going to worry about me when I'm gone. And if they don't, Merveilleux and Happy New Year. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. There's a God up there. I'll be doing something. You won't miss me. You haven't missed me yet. The last couple of years, the last few years, the last 10 years, the last 20 years, I actually haven't been there. Nobody came to visit me. So that's okay. And whoever did came to visit me, guess what? She's named Juniper Bird. She came to visit me at least once. She brought her dog. He was Whistler, whistling while he works, because he never stopped working. Whistler is a thing where the people get together, they whistle, they hum, they get the vibrations together. Let's whistle while we work, as one is all. I bid you and I thank you. I am MrTacpans of 7286. I have found so many things upon the President's men. The 4 months of 30 days, totaling 120 days, alpha beta of creation. At 120, the O, or the 2O, actually means the beta world of the alpha spirit. I'm not sure what you want to know or what you want to learn from anything I know. If you don't think I know anything, that's fine. You take it upon yourself for what you wish, and your wishes are all your own. Good luck, my friends, and thank you. Raphael, 7286. We will free the myth of Zazareth. The Israelis will live on, and the Russians will come to save. China is not out of this, and the poor Thailand nations that are sitting out there where their women are getting raped, I want to get laid too. I know they're beautiful women, and I know they're kind women, but you know what? I want to give and I don't want to take. I want them to give and me to give. So if I'm having sex with anybody else out there, if they're not willing to give, well, I can't take. Because if you don't give, the door lock is on, the red stop sign is up, and you can't go green. Although you live green and you have green and you're in America and their money is green, there's nothing more green than a sourpuss. So if you ain't with me and you're not with me and you don't want to be with me, that's okay. Because aliens, okay, and atheists are the same thing. They both don't believe. But in all actuality, they're both true.